Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Terry.
Welcome to episode 97 of Bird Squawk.
Kind of a letdown, wasn't it? Sunday came, everyone was hyped. We talked ourselves into it. I was feeling good like an hour into the game. An hour before the game, 5 minutes into the game, and I was like, well, this game's practically over. Where do we start? There's a lot to digest here. I think we've had a couple of days to mull over what happened. And now it really is, where actually is this team a season away from what the disaster was of the 2020 season? And now where do we go from here?
Yeah, kind of bittersweet the way it ended. We tried to stay even keel all season. You know, there were no expectations or very low expectations. But I did kind of get hyped for this playoff game.
It's still the playoffs.
Kind of feeling like we'd go down there and shock the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, that didn't happen. And, you know, not the ending we wanted to see, but kind of realistically, that's where we are. You know?
And that's what stinks. We all have had our thoughts of what this season is. Obviously, 2020 was a disaster. 4-11-1. We come back, we go 9-8, make the playoffs, and we're like, holy crap, a rebuild year. We win 9 games, we clinch a playoff berth, and now we got nothing to lose against Brady going down to Tampa.
Yeah.
All right, that was where we were a week ago. We're excited. Now, a week since then, and it's kind of like we are not exactly where I think we thought we were.
Yeah, and we talked about this. You know, you're as good as your last game.
Yeah.
And now the thing that stinks about this whole thing is we've got that bad taste in our mouth for how many months now. We got to sit here and digest that and think about, wow, you know, what are we going to do? You know, the next thing we're going to hear is, Philadelphia Eagles, you are on the clock.
Yeah, we got the 3 first-round picks, and we'll obviously get deeper into that. Obviously, we brought you a lot of draft coverage last year. We're planning on doing that again this year. Even bigger draft than it was last year. But really, the game, it really was a disappointment. And I know everyone has different expectations, and I knew that was what was going to happen. But truly seeing it unfold, it hurt. It stung a little bit. It was 31-0 at one point. They were absolutely dominated in the game. They did not look like they deserved to be on the field.
It left you walk away from that game with a lot of unanswered questions. You know, a lot of thoughts in your mind of like, you know, what are we doing, man? What are we doing with Rager? And what are we doing? We got this weapon that we can't seem to get the ball in his hands. You know, and it takes, you know, the slow starts.
Yep.
And then it takes so long to get that offense going and get Devontae going when I think he should be the number one target often and early to get that offense moving.
Yeah, you don't have to hear it from us. We've said it pretty much every video this year, and I hope you have realized at this point, Devontae Smith is special.
Yeah.
They need to get him involved. The catch he had on the 2-point conversion, when he got that screen, when he got the space, when they get him involved, he is dangerous, and that needs to be something that needs to get better next year.
The thing I walk away from this game was, and I just don't understand, is because, you know, I'm a 57-year-old football fan. But we called this game plan that Tampa was going to have way last week.
We did.
We said they're going to stack the box, they're going to take away the run, and they're going to make Jalen beat us. And Sirianni and those guys got down there. Did they think it was just going to be another game? They did not game plan against the competition. And that leaves me scratching my head with, you know, I was on the Sirianni bandwagon, but, you know, is he the guy? I don't know.
I think he is the guy. I know I've probably given him some leeway this year compared to others. I think mostly, I've said this all season as well, this team is built to win a certain way, and they're not built to be behind. I know they had a couple comeback wins this year against like Washington. They probably have another one, but I can't even think about it. But they just don't, when they get behind, one
once
in the
that
score.
happens.
When they get behind in the score and when they get
Yeah.
behind of schedule, when they have to get pass happy, the offense is non-existent.
Yeah.
It's non-existent. And that plays into the quarterback a little bit. And I don't know. Like you said with the sour taste in the mouth, he was reeling us back in. I mean, when they played, week 7, week 8, we were done with the kid. We were.
Yeah.
And then he got to play some, I guess, crappier competition, and he looked good and reeled us back in, and then he looked like that on Sunday.
I mean, we talked about it. We said he did not have to win that game. He just had to put it in a good showing.
Yes.
And he didn't. He came up small.
To me, he didn't even...
I mean, and we're going to keep going back to, this is his second year or whatever. You either got it or you don't.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like... And I would love to eat my words.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
I love the kid. I just don't feel like he's the franchise quarterback.
I know. I think he took such big steps backwards on Sunday. You thought you saw the growth with him staying in the pocket. You thought you saw him. But now, a couple weeks ago, I said maybe that is growth. But now I think it's the ankle. It was the ankle. I think it's back to that now because that's apparently a big thing now. He was in a boot on Sunday, so who knows about that? But he was back to doing his normal things. Getting out of the pocket before he needed to. Just the things that he should have developed and improved on this year. He did show improvement, but overall, he really didn't. And like you said, he didn't even need to win that game. He just had to put in a good showing. He even needed to just put in a average showing.
Yeah.
Nothing even that blows off the page. But he looked terrible.
I was feeling like, all week, this was going to be his moment. This was going to be his moment to go down there. Like everyone else of those other quarterbacks, like Brady, when he had his moment. You seize the moment. For me, he didn't.
No.
But I think, though, for the benefit of the team and with these draft picks, it almost feels like we got to ride with him one more year.
Yeah,
we got to at least go out and kick the tires on what else is out there. But, come back and let's see what he can do next year. Let's sprinkle in some free agent weapons.
Yeah, I mean,
we weren't supposed to be in that game anyway. So, we can't really dwell on it.
Yes, and I get we're not really harping on him. It was the whole
days
team.
Of simmering,
the whole team was 100%. You could tell that they were outmatched.
I don't think they were prepared to play. I don't know if...
I think they were. I just think we are not that good, and this is where I am. If you go back to a video a year ago, when everything was going on with Wentz and Doug, and how that season ended, we said... this team is not close to contending.
Yeah.
They aren't. They're 2-3 years away. Yeah. And we said that, and we knew that. And then this year happened, and now we reflect once it's over that they really are that same team. Yeah. They took advantage of a weak schedule and they did what they needed to do to make the playoffs. I still think it's a great accomplishment by this team, and I think it is a step in the right direction. But how they looked on Sunday... They are not close to contending. Their holes were on full display on Sunday. That they are not close at all.
We're 2 years away.
And that's the main thing. And that's why...
with a good draft and some good free agents.
That's what it means.
A lot is predicated on what Howie is going to do, with these draft picks.
It does stink because it really does feel like Sunday... really made everything that happened this season wash away a little bit. I mean, you saw the growth. I still think Sirianni is the guy of the future. I agree that Jalen probably gets next year, but I agree that you have to look at all the options. Not saying to go out and make a splash, but at least look at possible things that could happen.
And people can have their opinions. I love our Eagle fans that have their opinions, but they're going to be guys that are out there, And I don't want to give up the house for... No, I'm not giving up three picks for Russ. I'm not giving up 3 picks for Rodgers. But there are other suitable, placeholders for a season if we want to go out and get one. There's Garoppolo. There's Derek Carr. Those guys are not going to come with a big price tag.
I don't know. I still think those guys are well known enough that you still probably commit to them for like 3 years and a decent amount of cash.
I mean, Mariota. What about Mariota?
Maybe. I mean, get Chip back. He loved that. That almost happened.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not jumping ship, but I just think it was a big game that he came up small, and I think a lot of the Hurts lovers have to admit that it was a letdown, and it really this year. We were driving.
It wasn't the way you wanted it to end.
They just against competent opponents, the offense always sputters. So I want to look deeper into that stuff on his front, on how he looks against teams above 500. But we turn to the draft. We got 3 first-round picks, 14, 15, 19. And we've said it all year when we thought the draft was the most important thing before the playoffs happened and this team turned around. They need to hit, and they need to get holes, and they have to fill holes with these picks. And these guys have to be studs. They have to be studs.
All I know is last year I was the guy clamoring for Devontae.
Yeah.
And it happened. Yeah. I'm clamoring for Nakobe Dean. I want that kid out of Georgia. I want him to come into our defense. And we got to hit, like you said. We got to bring in playmakers.
Yep.
And we've got to add playmakers to this roster.
100%. And we'll see. We'll start draft talk in the coming weeks. And the original guy we said we wanted was Devontae. We went all over the place.
Oh man,
circled all the holes, circled all the names that maybe we wanted. But at the end of the day, we wanted Devontae first, and they took him. And it worked out.
He's lived up to the billing.
It worked out. So I haven't even looked at anything mock draft yet. So I'll have to look into stuff. But if you watch the national championship, that's the same thing I said with Devontae last year. Watch the national championship. There's going to be some studs in that game.
Yeah.
And he was a stud in that game. And you go out and get proven guys. I think they realized that this year. And they took Smith, stud, and they took Landon Dickerson, who has been a huge contributor to this team this year.
I mean, the thing I'm going to challenge Saucy in this offseason is, look, man, when we got a horse like Devontae, figure out how to ride him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Get this guy. Make him a focal point of your offense.
Yes, he
you came in saying you were this receivers coach, this great receivers coach. You got one of the best receivers, and I don't think we used him up to full potential this year.
No, they definitely didn't, and that's the big thing. I'm back to where I was earlier in the year. That Jalen not doing what needs to be done? We'll never know that, but I'm not sure.
We're at the games. We're at every home game. I'm telling you, Devontae is open.
He is. He 100% is.
I am not just saying that. Yeah. You can look at every game film, whatever you want. The dude is open.
Yeah, and he 100% doesn't get the ball enough, but that is what it is. I mean, it's not what we wanted the season to end. I think it was a success, but at the end of the year...
All in all, I think it was a success. But did we fall a little prey to the playoff hype?
Yeah, we did.
We did. So we build ourselves up for the letdown.
Yeah.
We got nobody to blame but ourselves. Right?
Exactly. We've avoided that all year and then let it happen.
Yeah, we talked about it all season, and then we fell right into it.
Yeah.
But you had a feeling we were better.
They should have hung around. Yes.
We were better than what we showed.
I agree. I don't think they should have, the score obviously makes it look better than what it was. They were dominated. But I agree that they could have and should have hung around a little bit more. But at the end of the day, they were a lesser team than the Buccaneers.
It's kind of a double-edged sword now, because as a playoff team, now we got a tougher schedule.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
So now next year, those cupcakes are gone. We're going to be playing some decent teams, and hopefully, whatever they decide, hopefully we bring Jalen back. Hopefully, if I know Jalen, he's off working now.
Yes, I know he's not putting. I know he's not avoiding work. He is putting in the work. I know he's going to try and improve, and we'll see. We have a lot of time till September to be talking about football. And we'll be back, talk about the playoffs, talk about the draft, as now that's where the focal point turns. So we'll be back, as always, next Wednesday. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Fly Eagles Fly.
Go Birds.